Hi, welcome to the Health Psychology course online. I'm Amanda Price and I'll be your instructor for these 5 weeks. In this course, the general topic that we'll be looking at is how the integration of psychology, sociology and culture, and physiology all interact to affect our health, and that includes mental health as well as physical health. So in the course, we'll be looking at specific health behaviors like smoking or eating behaviors, exercising, stress, and looking at how these different factors interact to influence those health behaviors. Now, the first thing I want to draw your attention to in the syllabus is how you will be spending your time. In general, you can expect to spend about 12 to 15 hours a week on the course. So some of that are the things that are listed right here, things that you'll be doing online. But in addition to that, of course, there's also going to be time dedicated to reading and taking notes, working on a project, and those are the kinds of things that if you were in a traditional classroom-based course, you would still need to do outside of the expected class time. All right, so I'll scroll down. You have my contact information right here. Because this is an online class and I recognize you may not be anywhere near our college campus when you have a question, you are certainly encouraged to call or text me on my cell phone. You have that here, and I also respond to emails very quickly. We have the course outcomes. You can see again, cultural, social, psychological, physiology, all of these factors and how they interact. If you have not taken an online course before, or you haven't taken one recently through the PA College of Health Sciences, I certainly encourage you to double check, make sure that your computer is appropriate for the online course. There's certainly not high standards, but you do want to make sure that you can run Blackboard without any problems. I do recommend that you run Blackboard using Google Chrome because that is the best way if you're going to be taking online quizzes. Now, in terms of what you can expect to be doing in the course, certainly your learning will be demonstrated and assessed in several different ways. We do have a semester-long, which of course is only 5 weeks for you, a semester-long research paper. I'll talk about that shortly. You're also going to be doing application to practice, where you'll be connecting course concepts to either your personal or your professional experiences with health and healthcare. We will have weekly quizzes as well as weekly discussion boards, and I'll talk more about each of these shortly. If any of you are involved in the associate's degree program, you're not in one of the bachelor's programs, several of the assignments in this course are qualified to be used for the portfolio, and you can contact me personally for more information about that. In terms of the standards, I encourage you to review these, but this is fairly standard expectations for the course. Certainly, I emphasize that you check Blackboard in your email every few days to make sure that you are up to date on any changes. Certainly, I don't anticipate any changes, but you never know. The next thing I really want to emphasize is this issue of academic dishonesty. And I emphasize this not because I expect that you are a dishonest student, quite the opposite. What I do think is possible, though, is that you or your classmates might be a well-intentioned student operating with full integrity who might accidentally commit an act of plagiarism. And for that matter, I have included a link on Blackboard to give you some, I guess kind of a tutorial on what constitutes plagiarism, because I do find that students every semester have a few students who do it, and I don't think they realize that they did it. So that's why I'm really emphasizing this, because it can occur even with the best of intentions. If you do need any special accommodations, please let me know, and also make sure that you are contacting the ADA coordinator in the student health office with the hospital. All right, in terms of course requirements, we have 5 weeks. That is a whirlwind, but I know that's the type of courses that most of you are taking. And so you're used to this high pace or fast pace. Every week you have a set of learning outcomes, and to achieve those outcomes, you'll be doing a collection of things. There will be textbook reading that's assigned, and there will also be commonly either additional readings from the web or in some cases actually some videos. and this allows me to be fairly flexible and up to date with the kind of information that you're reviewing. Now, the way that you will be demonstrating your learning and sharing your learning with the rest of us is every week we will have a discussion board. I'll talk more about the discussion board very shortly. There will typically be something related to your research project, something related to these application to practice blogs, as well as a weekly quiz. So let me scroll down until we get to information about each one of these methods of evaluation. All right, for the discussion boards, I will also be making a Blackboard course video that talks about how to use the discussion boards, but I'm guessing that many of you have already been engaged with discussion boards in other courses. Typically what will happen is I will provide you with some type of write-up. It's kind of a problem-based learning or case study situation where you'll be reading about a particular patient, for example, and then I will include several different questions or topics. And what's going to happen is that each of you will be responsible for one of these subtopics. So that way you're not reading everybody writing about the same exact thing. So each one of you is essentially going to be the class expert on that subtopic. And you can basically reserve a topic early on in the week by posting up on the discussion board, letting everybody know that you take that particular topic. And then you'll have a few more days to compose your initial content post. So the initial content post, you want to make sure that this is thoughtful, that you are really using information from the reading, whether it be textbook or the additional readings that I've assigned, or maybe also a video if I've included that. Certainly, you're also welcome to include information about your personal or professional experiences. You're welcome to use items that you may have found on the web to help back up your assertions. Typically, this major content post must be available by Wednesday night. There are some exceptions to that. Then, once you've done the content post, you are typically going to be expected to do 2 responses to other people's content posts. You can see that these responses are certainly shorter, but the responses must still be thoughtful. They must still contain information that connects back to the reading or that cites your personal or professional experiences with health and health care. Now, your responses must be posted by the end of the assigned week, and I would like at least 1 response posted after that Wednesday night so that I know everybody's reading all of those content posts. The discussion boards are going to be graded essentially as a high pass, pass, or low pass. And instructions on what is necessary for each one of those categories are available on the Blackboard site. The next major category of learning activity is the application to practice blogs. So every week I have given a blog topic, and you as students will choose, each of you will choose 2 topics on which to respond. So you don't have to write a blog post every week. You have to write it 2 of the 5 weeks. And additionally, you will be responding to 6 different blog posts. So when exactly you choose to make these blog responses is up to you. Now, again, the blog is designed to help you connect course material to the professional practice. You can see I have guidelines here for the original blog posts. The length requirement is pretty similar to the original content post for the discussion board. And you will be graded on your ability to connect course material with your personal and professional experiences. So discussion boards, you need to really address the topic, connecting to the course material. Here, this is really connecting course material with your own experiences in healthcare. And this is really where we can learn from each other's experiences. And honestly, this is the area that I tend to find the most interesting because I'm able to learn more about what my students are experiencing as healthcare professionals. In addition to posting, you will also be responding. Again, you have to do a total of 6 responses. 2 of them must be done after we hit the halfway point of the course, then the remainder need to be done at the end of the course. So if you are in week 4, you can go back and respond to a blog from week 1. All right, so I'll be flexible about that. The next major category of learning or assessment activity that we'll be doing are weekly quizzes. You'll have a quiz each week, and It is only going to be available for a few days. These quizzes are open book, open note, they're open internet, but you are expected to do this by yourself and not have your peer with her laptop open right next to you doing it at the same time. There is ample evidence that open book quizzes promote actually greater retention than in-person or closed book quizzes. So I know you'll still be learning even though your books are open. Now, the final category of learning activity that you'll be doing is this research project. So even though this is a condensed class, I am expecting you to do a scholarly research paper. Certainly, the first thing you're going to do is choose a topic. This can be any topic that draws upon course principles. Now, I have provided to you here at the end of the syllabus several different research topics, really many different research topics, including some that are provided in the textbook. There are these little diversity and healthy living sections in the text that I think are really interesting. The idea here is that it needs to be something related to health that touches on at least two of the three factors that influence health. So I'm talking about psychology, sociocultural factors, and physiology, looking at that interaction. Right, so by the end of week 1, you will provide to me on a wiki, I'll show you this on the Blackboard course video, on the wiki you will indicate to all of us what topic you're going to do. And I am asking you to do this because I don't want everybody to choose the same topic. By week 3, you will have already engaged in some degree of research. You're going to be using at least 5 scholarly sources for the final paper. And so for this annotated bibliography assignment, you'll give me not just the 5 sources, but also what you expect to get from that resource and why it's relevant to your paper's thesis. So you don't necessarily have to have read each of those sources, but certainly you want to have skimmed the source, read the abstract, etc. And I do want to emphasize that although you may use textbooks as a resource for your paper, at least 5 scholarly sources need to be journal articles. So it might be 5 scholarly sources plus a textbook piece plus maybe another website, or you could just do 5 scholarly sources. That's fine, as long as you have those 5 scholarly sources. And that's the last time I'll say that phrase. All right, then at the end of week 4, you will make available to all of us a short Wikibased presentation. You'll do this on Blackboard. A Wikibased presentation of what you learned from your final paper. So this way each of you will be teachers as part of this course. So you will share what you've learned because we're going to spend the final week engaging in a bit of discussion of each other's wiki presentations. And finally, in week 5, at the end of week 5, you will be submitting your final paper. I'm happy to review people's papers. If you wanted to send me a rough draft, I would say get me the rough draft by the end of week 4, but I recognize that given the fast-paced nature of this course, you may not be writing a rough draft. Certainly a rough draft helps to make a higher quality paper, but I realize that might not be possible. So final paper due at the end of week 5, and I believe that is the end of our syllabus. Certainly, if you have questions about the syllabus or anything else in the course, please don't hesitate to contact me, whether it be through email or phone. I welcome your input, and I look forward to working with you.